Today on the Fairy Boss Mother Show, I'm meeting with Uzma Saeed.
What I do is I make more money for them using all the marketing strategies.
Founder of Mango Tym, a marketing growth strategist with a background that most business owners would dream to have.
I am from Pakistan and my journey has been across different countries.
She lived in Syria, Turkey, and the United States as the daughter of a diplomat.
And then we were posted in Ankara, Turkey.
Wow, yeah.
And then to Pakistan.
But despite her world-class insight, no one knows who she is or what she really does.
One of the key things that has been holding me back, and I'm getting better at it, is the visibility. Coming in front of people.
Right now, Uzma is chasing high-ticket clients with low clarity messaging, low visibility, and zero presence.
How do I define myself? Because it's so unique. If I say I'm a marketing investor, people are like, I don't know what that is.
I'm Tylene Rahman Figueroa, your diplomat turned personal brand expert, and I help entrepreneurs stop playing small and start leading. You have to reinvent yourself over and over again, right? With each birthday, there's a milestone. Can I help Uzma own her impact, clarify her business, and finally get seen? Pinky promise. All right. Let's show the world how strong Muslim women in marketing are. Let's meet Uzma Saeed. Now, before we meet Uzma, I usually ask my guests a few general questions about the business so that I can see how they really talk about themselves. Let's take a look. When I asked Uzma, what is your business all about and who do you serve? This is what she had to say. I'm a growth partner for established coaches, consultants, and influencers in the high-ticket space. I help scale proven offers using performance-based marketing strategies, okay? No upfront cost, no risk, okay? My model is results-driven and designed to deliver outcomes in as little as 2 weeks. You know what? Even though I'm in the marketing space, that just sounded like a whole load of fluff. Like I have absolutely no idea what Uzma actually does in her business. She specifically said that she's chasing people in the high ticket space. So clearly it means that, there's no clarity around this. I have no freaking clue. You know what? Let's go to the next part. When I asked Uzma, what are your main goals for your business right now? She said getting visibility online and reaching coaches, high ticket, very specifically high ticket, and influencers, very specifically 1 million plus followers, and showing them how quickly I can generate revenue for them. I mean, girl, kudos to you, because Uzma is aiming high. She's not going after those low-hanging fruits. She's being very intentional about who she wants to serve, who she wants to attract, and who she wants to retain as her clients. But the problem is she wants visibility. And the reason why she's probably not getting visibility is because no one knows what she does. Even I have no clue what a growth partner is for people in that kind of space. So when I asked her, what are your biggest challenge you're currently facing in reaching those goals? She says, I don't have visibility and network to reach the right audience. Girl, if you flip it the other way around, when your messaging is crystal clear and you're hitting that like bullseye, those people are going to listen to what you have to say. And if they don't know what you're saying and you're not confident in how you're saying it, no audience, no traction, no money coming into your business. Right. When I asked her, have you done any work on building your personal brand? She says, okay, I like this honesty. She says, not really. As a single mom and running my own business, I've not found the time to build my own personal brand. You know what? I love the fact that she's being so honest and raw here. Being a single mom, not an easy thing to do whatsoever. And she's going after people in the high ticket space. This girl has a lot of ambition. I want to see if what she says and what she's actually doing matches in the middle, or if it's kind of like, pew, 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 pew. Right. Let's meet Uzma Saeed. Uzma, welcome to the Fairy Boss Mother Show. How are you doing today?
Eileen, that is so awesome to be here. And I'm doing awesome.
Do you want the full-on boss mode? That means telling you the truth, completely unfiltered. It might sting a little bit. Or do you want the feather duster approach and I'll go slightly softer on you?
Now, I would say tear it apart. Just go hard. That's it. Let's do it.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go.
Yep.
Okay. Uzma has asked for hard mode, and that's exactly what she's getting. So, Uzma, let's get started with the easy stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Who are you and what do you do?
So I am from Pakistan. And my journey has been across different countries. And I ended up here not by choice or not by planning. I just ended up here. So I have moved through countries to countries because I think you were a diplomat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was a diplomat.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
he was posted in different countries and I just tagged along, of course. And by doing that, I was able to get grasp of many different cultures and religions and insights into different countries. And I also transitioned to different industries, which means I worked in media, I worked in banking, and within banking, not just banking as customer service, I worked in treasury department where they do the actual trading and make money for the bank with $1 million portfolios. And also then I ended up coming here. I've been here for 13 years, but it goes way back. I did my high school from US. And when I came here in the last 13 years back, I went back to school. I did my graduation in IT, and then I transitioned into a hardcore IT job with development, programming, computer programming. And, it was like the money was good, but my heart was not there. But the COVID came and some of us were laid off. And then I started my marketing agency. With the marketing agency, started with website development. And then I realized, my clients, which are mostly small business owners, they need help with the content and the copy. They don't know what goes on the website. Yeah. So I got trained by coaches in copywriting. And then once I was trained in copywriting, I had one client, it was a big client, and they wanted an email marketing specialist. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, cool. I can do email marketing, which for me at that time meant just writing emails. And then I took a deep dive in their business, and the email marketing was a mess. It was not just about writing the emails. It was about their open rate, their deliverability issues. Many of their emails were landing in spam folders. And so I was like, I'm so lost. I don't know how to do this. And I hired a coach who taught me hands-on how to do it better. Mm-hmm. And I ended up taking their open rate from single digit to 38, 39%.
Wow, yeah.
And then, after that, I'm in a very cool space now where I have become a growth partner. Mm-hmm. So for other businesses, what I do is I make more money for them.
Yeah.
Using all the marketing strategies, like it's done
that's
for
what you want to hear money coming out from the work.
Yep. They probably have like high ticket courses online, and they might be sitting on the beach sipping on pina colada while I do everything behind the scenes and make more money for them without any upfront cost. So this is like a really exciting times for me where I'm building my growth partnership space.
That sounds amazing. I mean, I love the fact that your journey started not even in this country. I want to take a step back a little bit, Uzma. As a professional curiosity and personal curiosity, I would love to know which countries you were in during those times.
Yeah, so I was born in Pakistan, in Islamabad. And then we were, when even I was a couple of months old, my dad was posted in Istanbul, Turkey. And then from there, we went to Damascus, Syria, and then back to Pakistan. And then we were posted in Ankara, Turkey.
Wow, yeah.
And then to Pakistan. And then we were posted in US and then back to Pakistan. But by that time, my older siblings were, they were studying here. They got married here. So I was the only one who moved back. And over there, from there, I did travel to other countries like Canada, Hong Kong, Dubai, all those places. And so it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, your global experience, honestly, is so rare, especially being in America. The fact that you are an expat who has set up a life here, has also lived in other countries. I mean, you're in places where a lot of Americans will probably feel scared to even talk about, right? I mean, Syria is a big hot topic here. Going to Turkey, being from Pakistan. These are a lot of places where Americans don't typically touch, and you have lived that life. You've got so many experiences, and now you have pretty much established yourself in America, making these American businesses money. Like, how do you, girl? Seriously, how do you?
You know, I'll tell you, this is so, I feel exotic at times because, because I'm able to blend in with different kinds of people and with respect to their culture, their beliefs and everything. So I can sit with an African and hold a 5-hour long conversation. I can do the same for a European or somebody in, you know, Maldives. And it has given me a lot of flexibility and I see a lot of like the good things in people and able to expand on that in conversation.
Yeah, exactly. You're a global chameleon.
Yeah.
Those people are rare. And you're here. You're with me right now. I'm one of them as well. Those global chameleons where you can just blend into different cultures and be able to really extract things about them that can make them even better, especially in their business, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because as an entrepreneur, you know, you do come across different kinds of people. Yeah. And sometimes it can be awkward. And you, of course, you know, you have to network a lot. So yeah, it comes in handy. Those experiences come in handy. Yeah. And also, of course, I'm multilingual. My dad, at times, he's forgotten most of the languages, but at that time, early on in his career, he was speaking like 7 languages.
Wow, yeah. Yeah. So what do you think is one of the biggest things that's keeping you to where you really want to be? Because I feel like you have a huge dimension to your experience. If you wanted to make your company bigger in your head, what would that actually look like for you?
I think one of the key things that has been holding me back, and I'm getting better at it, is the visibility coming in front of people. I was like a very shy person. I want to stay behind the scenes, but unless and until you network, you know, you're hidden. Nobody knows about you. But as a business owner, you have to do this. Yeah. You know, either you hire somebody else to do it or you do it yourself. So that's the kind of space where I'm at.
So speaking of visibility, what made you decide I am ready to be on the Very BOSSmother show today?
So it's all about connections, you know. And I got your email and you said, I don't do conventional one-on-one. I have them on the podcast. And I was like, this is such a cool idea. You know, this is something I can do as well. And it's because, you know, content-wise, we are always like, I don't know what to put on my social media. I don't know how to start a YouTube channel. Yeah. But this is such a cool idea. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I, joined this podcast.
Okay. Yeah. You know what, sis? Learn, take it, use it as your own. I am all about sharing what I know and being able to replicate in other places. So, okay, cool. So we've got your intention, we've got your background. Now, I really want to understand a little bit more about you, Uzma, and where you eventually would like to go. So let's imagine you are absolutely killing it in business, right? There's no limitations. Your limits are gone. You have no money problems in your business. You're making everything that you need. You have the visibility. People know who you are and what you do. What's next for you? Like, what do you do next?
Big plans. There's a strong why, and that is to raise more orphans and have an organic place where that is not dependent on, processed food and water. It's just like have an organic village where I can help out other children. That's one of the biggest why that I have in my life.
You want to set up an orphanage?
It's not an orphanage. It's more like an organic village. Okay. And I don't know if you're aware, there's a model by one of the not-for-profit is SOS Village. And I really like their idea. What they do is like they have women they have nobody. So what they do is they combine that one woman with like 4 or 5 orphans. So, and it's treated as a family. They become a family unit. So that's a very powerful, idea for me. And I want something similar.
Where's that coming from? This big why, it has to have come from somewhere.
Yeah, it's rooted in my beliefs, which is like very early on in my life when I was probably like 4 or 5 year old. I heard this saying of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that whoever raises an orphan, he or she will be like this on the day of judgment. Yeah. So that close to him. And it stuck with me. Yeah. And I wanted to do that for other orphans.
Your heart is so pure, and I'm feeling that radiating through the screen. Honestly, Uzma, I love that so much. So how does this tie into what you are doing right now?
Marketing is just, it's an area where I ended up, not by plan, but probably God's plan. Definitely
Right.
God's plan. It's not something I envisioned, but I am liking it, as I go along, especially what I'm doing right now as growth partnership phase. I'm really loving it. So, and also this marketing agency model is just so flexible. I can be sitting anywhere in the world and I can service
your
any
pina colada somewhere else.
I know I could be the one sitting on the beach, sipping on my pina colada and servicing so many different businesses, helping them out, make more money,
Yeah.
So yeah, the flexibility is probably one of the stronger aspects.
So are you seeing almost like you set up a very successful business, your business is making money, helping other business also make money? Are you seeing a portion of that potentially funding this, I guess, this village that you want to create? And
yes,
maybe
absolutely.
pulling in some of your clients and your partners to be able to like fund into this?
I'm seeing myself as doing it. I do have, like, my cousin is like one of my biggest support in this area. We both see this as a vision for ourselves, and we just need the kind of money that could fund this project. And the way to do it is just me being successful in my business. And the more success I have monetarily, especially, it is going to give me fulfillment in terms of I'm just going to take that money, because I'm a minimalist myself. I don't need the fancy bags. I don't need the fancy car or the shoes or whatever. I don't even need the fancy vacations. I just need the money to fund it for this project.
Yeah. So I'm curious to know right now, who is your target audience in your business?
So high ticket space, they have online businesses, online offers, and they have already some kind of proven system themselves, and they have an active and engaged audience. So that would be an ideal one. So for example, coaches would be an audience. If they have courses selling for, thousands of dollars, they have an audience, email audience or social media audience, like 5,000, that would be good. I can easily monetize their audience and make more money for them. Influencers, for example, I'll give you a very good example. An influencer, maybe she has like 1,000,000+ followers. She's doing lifestyle. She's doing some makeup tutorial, maybe some cooking. What I can do is, people in that space, sometimes their business is so much at risk because, number one, they're on Instagram. That is not their business. That is somebody else's random platform.
Yeah.
So anytime Instagram can say, hey, I don't like you anymore, and they can shut down the account, there goes everything. So their business is not secure. What I will do for them, which will secure their business and build their business and monetize it, using the marketing strategies, I can quickly capture the emails from their audience. Email list is one of the biggest assets that a business has. Once you have that email list, you can sell them anything. You can create low ticket offers. So let's say an Instagram influencer, she has 1,000,000+ followers. Even if I create an offer, which is like maybe $29 webinar or one-on-one or some makeup tutorial guide or something, and I sell it for $29, that's like thousands of dollars in 2 weeks, So sometimes she doesn't even need to do anything. I'll do it for her. Because whatever is needed.
Sitting on the pina colada. Yes. That's like the image I have now for your clients.
Yeah, that's called storytelling, you can visualize it. Yeah. So the webinars, the courses, the funnels, the email marketing, I can take care of everything. And she just needs to see that I have a vision for her where I can secure her. Even if the Instagram account gets shut down or gets hacked, she has that email list secure. And then she has a way of reaching her audience.
Right. And of course, we've got evidence of the fact that this does happen. It has happened in the past. There was one year in Halloween, Instagram got shut down. And it's almost like a cruel joke that this is a trick or treat. And these influencers lost millions of dollars because that's it. Their audience literally went. And now we've got the potential impending ban on TikTok looming over a lot of influencers. They don't have a brand outside of these platforms. And like you said, your literally leaving your audience behind on a platform that wasn't even yours to begin with.
Yeah, and it happened to one of my clients. She had an Instagram account and her business was dependent on that Instagram account. It got hacked. So in the morning, I'm receiving some random message and I'm like, I think she's hacked. But I reached out to her and she said, I'm just receiving calls and messages that, everybody's receiving random links. Now, I know that, you're not supposed to click on any of these links, but there might be audience who have no idea and they end up clicking the links. They get hacked. And now your audience who used to love you now hate you because they got hacked because of you. And she lost so much money because her account was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just safeguarding that. And I'm going to be curious to see, Uzma, everything that you shared with me, if that's actually reflective in your branding as well. So we're going to be checking out exactly what Uzma Saeed does and how visible your messaging is. Now, before we do that, just going back to your bigger picture of having this orphanage, that is such a big passion project of yours. And it's something that you're very intentional about. Unlike your business is very accidental, but you want to leave a legacy of creating something that will outlive you. Now, what does that actually mean for you, your life and your family, if that was to happen today?
Meaning the legacy?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So even if I'm gone, if I'm able to set up that infrastructure before I leave this earth, then so many people are going to keep benefiting, even me not around. Because even as you might be able to relate to this, as entrepreneurs, you need to have systems and processes. So even if you're not around, the show keeps running. And that's the kind of thing that I want for my business, for my vision as well, for the village, that even if I'm not around, it keeps running, it keeps benefiting, it keeps promoting and helping those orphans.
Yeah, I love that. Your heart is just so pure, Uzma. Honestly, I love that. So we're about halfway. I'm going to check out your website and everything. I get the feeling I've gone really soft on you because your message has just caught me. So I'm going to go harder on you now. That's it. No more softness. Do you want me to go deeper with you?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
All right. So, Uzma, I'm curious to know if you are even translating half of what you shared with me today on this show on your website. So let's go check out your website. Okay. So we are on Mango Tym, TYM.com. Okay. This name, Uzma, where did this come from?
Okay. So I was sitting and I had to register my LLC. And I was thinking, for the life of me, I have no idea what to name my business. And time is running out and I just need to get it done. And I was like, what do I like? And the thought that came as a Pakistani, of course, I'm in love with mangoes. And mangoes mean anytime, every time. I can have it morning, noon, and night and never give up on mangoes.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, Mango Tym. And I want my business to be something which I can do anytime and every time because I love it so much.
You know what? I think your analogy on the pina colada on the beach is a bit false. I think we need to talk about the mango lassi and have that on the beach instead.
Oh my God, yes. Mangoes, always. Pakistani mangoes, absolutely.
Always mangoes. Oh, no beating the Pakistani mangoes. Absolutely. All right. So on the offset, Uzma, this is the most corporate website I have ever seen. So you talk about, okay, on the homepage, coaches and influencers, you're leaving money on the table, we'll fix that. That is a really strong header because you're talking directly to your audience. And then you say, we fill your high ticket program using our own resources at zero upfront cost. Seriously, you profit first, we win together, learn more. I think that's a really, really strong headline. But what's missing is the personality of your entire company just by looking at this. What is your feedback on that?
I think you're right. And I'll just say that this was done by me in probably one day. And the reason was I was doing email marketing and copywriting before. And when I started this growth partnership thing and I was reaching out to people and they would check my profile and they would be like, no, we don't want any copywriting. And so I was like, I need to change my website. So I had to do it in one day. And of course, this is not the best one. So you're absolutely right. And I'm ready to listen to you.
I mean, especially when you say that visibility is an issue for you, your website is your HQ. And if your website isn't screaming the value of what you really provide, Uzma, because what you provide is money on the table that is being left behind by these influencers and coaches. So you're not even talking to small business owners who've just started. You're talking to business owners who have already made it, and now they need to monetize further and ensure that, okay, just because you're social media famous, are you actually making money? Because a lot of those influencers don't, right? So having an audience doesn't mean you're rich. Having an audience means you have a platform, but are they actually using that platform? Most likely no. And that's where you come in. That's where Mango Tym is coming in. And I think that needs to come across a little bit sharper.
Yeah, I would appreciate, like, how do I do it?
Okay, the how comes later. So let's keep going. Let's keep digging in. And then you say, okay, so let's turn your audience into a high ticket revenue without the risk. That sounds great. What is the pain point though? That's the one thing that I'm not seeing, right? So you, as an influencer, we know that it's really, really hard to, number one, grow an audience. Two, if you've built an audience in platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, like name where those platforms are, because then you're basically saying, hey, if you're on Instagram, watch out, because tomorrow that platform can be gone. And the years that you've put into your content, boom, gone. Now what? Now what do you do? You've lost your audience and your entire visibility is gone with it.
Here, the challenge that I was facing was I'm talking to two different audiences with different pain points.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
Influencers and then coaches, they are like two different. How do I address both of them here?
All right, let's simplify this a little bit. So coaches, what do coaches do? And then what do influencers do?
Like coaches, they are selling their courses, they are mentoring people, they are guiding them. Influencers could be, they're just more of information and then getting attention. They have massive following. So sometimes their pain points don't overlap.
Yeah. So what you could potentially do is, yeah, it's two very different audiences. I think you need to decide, where am I going to make the most amount of money? Number one, for your business. And remember, there's a bigger reason why you need to make money in your business now, right? So just keep that in mind. And then two, who has the biggest problem that I can fix right now? So when they see your offer, it's like a no-brainer. No one else has done what you're doing right now, right? So I think with coaches, they will probably already have a system in place, right? They've got their offers, they've got their courses, they probably have digital products. Influencers, not so much. They have the audience and they have the growth potential, but they probably don't have the products in place to be able to fully monetize and the website and their infrastructure outside of that platform to boot that. Now, where do you see you can make the biggest impact on? Is it with the coaches or is it with the influencers?
So bigger help can be, well, actually, I've been talking to a lot of coaches. Yes, they do have a lot of things in place already. They are making money, but they can make more money. And sometimes, coaching is very saturated field. Everybody's a coach nowadays, without even, they might be just startup and they're still calling themselves experts.
Yeah.
So I have been speaking to coaches and they are struggling with more exposure, more getting clients in their business. So, but for your question, I think I can make a huge difference for influencers because they have like no background. They are just too busy creating the content, but they don't have their own offer. They are relying on social media platforms. And it's like a highly risky place. So I think I can do a lot more for them.
Yeah. And then especially with the influencers, it's a global marketplace, right?
Yeah.
And with the influencers also is, you were talking about systems and structures and building them, that sort of infrastructure behind the scenes to be able to monetize and capitalize on their ready-made audience. These are all things that you already do, but now it's like leaning into it a little bit more. So Uzma, one thing I would like you to think about is something I refer to as salt in the wound. Talk about the pain points that your audience has. So if you don't have to decide, am I working with coaches or am I working with influencers? Because I think both of them, I think you can help both of the audience. But instead of saying, hey, coaches, hey, influencers, just make it abstract. Start talking about how You have a ready-made audience built, and you have the products and the courses already designed, but you're not monetizing them enough. The problem is you're leaving money on the table. You've done all of this work to build out your business, but now your problem is you are not capturing your market. And because you're not capturing your market because there's no system in place, the money is just falling through a sieve. That money could have been yours. That's what we fixed. And now all of a sudden, you're not talking about, hey, influencers, hey, coaches. You're basically talking about the problem. The problem is there's a sieve. They've created this amazing platform and they're not capturing any of that market. Mango time, baby.
Yes. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So that way you don't have to pick and choose, because especially because currently you are relying a lot on word of mouth referral. You're most likely going to get those coaches and those experts rather than the influencers, right? So we've pinpointed one problem that you have. Just looking at your website for like a minute, where the gaps are. Let's see what you're like on Instagram. So are you, you give me that look. What is your relationship with Instagram, Uzma?
Not cool because I have been hiding behind the scenes so much. I don't like to be on the forefront. And with the Instagram, I was like, at least I need to have something. So I'm just randomly, before I was putting just mindset quotes just to get started. And then I was like, people then started saying, we don't need copywriters, because I had some copywriting content there. And then I was like quickly just struggling to put something else about the growth partnership. But yeah, it has been a struggle.
Even the word growth partnership, though, even someone with my expertise, I'm like, growth partnership. I'm like, what the heck does that mean? I don't know. And then, tell me what your experience is like when you say growth partnership.
I'm like at a loss of title. How do I define myself? Because it's so unique. If I say I'm a marketing investor, people are like, I don't know what that is. Yeah. And then they don't even understand the growth partnership. And I haven't asked ChatGPT like, what is the title? But it's like, unless and until I fully explain the model to them, people don't really understand.
And that's where you're losing opportunity, because you're having to explain yourself to your potential clients so that they can finally go, oh, that's what you do. And by then you could have had like 3 or 4 people already in your pipeline. So defining who you are is a big problem. And I've also noticed one other thing on your website. So let's jump back on your website. So very generic, very corporate feeling. Uzma, I'm sorry, no personality. I don't see mango time. I'm not feeling mango time. I'm not smelling mango time. I'm not picturing mango lassi in the beaches while like someone else is making me money. Like, these are the things that I want to be able to like immediately feel from your website. And your website is just like honestly dead right now in terms of like, okay, this is just another generic marketing website that I'm going to get spammed by, because when you start a business or when you have a successful business, the number one thing that gets in your inbox is marketing agents flooding you with, hey, do you need help with your email marketing? Hey, your website's not great. Let me help you with that. Hey, blah, blah, blah. It's always marketing emails that you get first. And people might think you're that too because of the way you're presenting yourself. And we don't want that, right?
So the one thing that with the personal branding that I've come across is there's a lot of like personal, not the person, but images of the founder or the CEO. I'm not comfortable with that. And without doing that, how do I bring that personality in the website?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about us. Is it really an us, or is it just you in your business?
It's me.
Okay, forget the us. You are not a corporation, Uzma. Own your voice. Start saying, this is my company. I have built Mango Time. The name Mango Time has a history. There's a reason behind why you came up with Mango Time. And sis, I have to say, your backstory is freaking phenomenal, right? Daughter of a diplomat. You were born in Pakistan, but your entire life was living as an expat, which eventually ended up in America, not by choice. And because another thing that was not by choice was you working for these large corporations. Your background has so much power. It's insane. And you're not doing anything with that.
Yes. All my life, I've been like, I don't want to go in the forefront. I don't want to be so visible. So yeah.
Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from, Uzma?
Not sure. Probably something has to do with my upbringing, because my mom was always like, she didn't want to be visible by choice. Personality wise, I don't think I was like that, but I ended up like that. And I think it's just now that I'm trying to find my voice and myself as an individual.
Yeah.
So I think that is one of the reasons why I'm here with you on a podcast. This is not what I would have thought 2 years back.
Yeah. Your voice is your biggest power in order to make your business bigger than what it is right now. And you are the missing puzzle to all of this, right? Uzma, stop saying we. Forget we. There is no we, because without you, nothing is going to happen. Not your business, not your clients, and definitely not the orphanage idea, right? I want you to own and start controlling your business like you really mean it. There's a reason why you started Mango Tym. Think about your bigger goal, right? That legacy project that you want happening. If you start thinking like this is going to happen tomorrow because of the actions I take today, it's going to happen. But you need to start owning that now. You need to start owning the fact that Mango Tym is my product. I built this. I invested money in coaches, right? Who does that if you don't care about what the success that your clients are going to have? The other thing you mentioned to me, which is like when you worked in the treasury department for a bank so they can make more money, and you told me on this podcast that these were $1 million accounts.
Yeah. So that's where, so treasury department is the place where banks deal with each other in the interbank and the forex trading. So they have like millions of dollars going here and there, they're investing in different things. So yeah, it was pretty powerful. It was like you had phones here, everywhere, and you're just finding the rates and doing the trading.
Right. From everything that you shared with me, Uzma, this is the way I see you. Number one, you have a killer background. Right? We got to capitalize on that, because that way you are not just working with businesses internally in the US. You actually have your fingerprints in the global marketplace with what you do. But we need to really define exactly what the system is that you're selling to your client and start to be really specific on this is the problem that I fixed. Throw some salt on it, make them feel the pain, elbow drop it a few times, stick a knife in it and then make it hurt. Really make them feel that pain, but then you are the antidote. Don't worry, you've got this pain. I know how to fix this pain because I've got an entire system that you don't even have to pay into. How great is that? Let me explain what it is that I do and how you can start making money in your business with what you already have. In the meantime, go and get that mango lassi on the beach. I will continue to help you make money without you doing anything. Like that proposition on its own is golden, but that's just about your business. Now, Uzma Saeed, this woman is not only like a global expert. You've lived in so many different countries. You understand sensitivity. You understand cultures. You can sit with different people from different nationalities and different cultures and still be able to converse with them at an eye-to-eye level. That is really rare. Let me tell you, that's a really rare, especially with someone who's worked with diplomats. That's a rare skill. Own it.
Did I tell you I was a fashion designer as well?
Fashion designer as well. Like, what the heck? Tell me about that.
Oh my God. And I still do, but I used to love, if I was able to pursue and plan in one field, that would have been fashion designing. And I would have gone to New York to study it. But of course, my mom wouldn't let me. But that was the one field that I was passionate about, because I have this wild imagination of actually seeing the colors, seeing the different textures in my mind, as if I'm feeling it with my fingers. So I can put together different materials and create a fashion. And I did some fashion designing for South Asian market, Pakistani fashion. So that was pretty cool. But at that time, I didn't like selling it. I liked making it. I was very creative, but I didn't like selling it. So I never turned it into a business.
But you can translate that skill visually, right? Because if you have an eye for fashion, Uzma, you also have an eye for design. You know what works well together. You can coordinate the colors. You can do the basic branding, basically. You need to be able to do that for yourself now. Like if Mango Tym, because I just told you, your website's boring. How do we spice up that Mango Tym website and whatever I'm going to find out on your Instagram in a way that really feels like, wow, that feels like me. It's super authentic. And now when somebody comes across my work, you know, you do your cold DMs or your cold outreach, you're not going to look like those marketers who are also doing the same thing as you anymore. Right? So now you can really like blend in this other piece of you that's been hidden. She hasn't even surfaced. She's in a box somewhere under the bed. Let's turn that dream into a reality now, but in a slightly different context. I want you to open that box, Uzma, today, and I want you to crack her open. She's done hiding. And here's another thing that I see about you, Uzma. You know how to work with really complicated structures and systems, because your background has proven to me that that's what you are really good at, like untangling, right? So email marketing, okay, it sounds easy in surface level, but you and I, knowing, you know, being in marketing ourselves, we know that those systems need to go super deep in order for it to really do anything. That needs to be clearly translated, and that needs to be translated through the experiences that you've had working in, you know, in the media, in banking, in, you know, doing computer programming. Those are really complicated industries. You lived it. And now you're bringing all of these like intense structures, simplifying it and putting into a ready-made business. So when I'm saying this to you, Uzma, how does that make you feel?
Kind of like uncomfortable in the sense that, do I really want to put everything out there? Although I'm saying it, and I would say it in podcasts, but do I really want to put it out there on my website for millions of people to see it? So I think it's just I'm trying to find my own self, my own voice, my own personality again in life. So yeah, I think you're right. And eventually I know I'm going to put everything there.
Think of your bigger picture though. You want your business to fund this organic village, this organic, did you say organic village? Yes. So you want your business to fund this organic village. It's not going to just happen from anywhere. You're not asking people for money. You're not begging for that. You are creating wealth, and you are now turning this wealth into something bigger than yourself. That is the goal. In order for that to happen, Uzma, you cannot be scared by being visible and being more you than ever before. Because at the end of the day, the person who's building this village is going to be you. The person who's gathering those resources in the partnerships is going to be you. So it's kind of like, well, if you want to be a philanthropist, you need to start acting like one now. And that means showing up really boldly, knowing your voice, owning your voice, and then be able to be crystal clear on what your intentions are. And you already know this because you've told me this. I'm not making this up. So we need to find some inner belief in your own heart, Uzma.
Yeah, you're right.
So what is really holding you back? I don't think it's just the fact that you haven't found your voice. You mentioned your mom twice now. What's going on with that?
Yeah, she was very much, she was ambitious, but then she wanted to hold herself back and not be on the forefront. She was not very social. She's okay in her own world. So she doesn't want to reach out to other people and meet them. My dad is the social one.
Yeah.
It's like extra social. So yeah, I think maybe a lot of these things I've picked up from her. But when I compare myself to my younger years, when I was like 5, 6, 7-year-old, I see a very different person at that time. I was more bubbly, I think I was more social. I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to make more friends. Now I'm more like I had closed myself in a very tiny space.
But you mentioned that was like when you were 5, 6 years ago. Well, when you were 5 or 6 years old. May I ask how old you are right now?
I'm close to the 4th one.
Okay, me too. So we're in the same boat. Right. This is your best opportunity to say goodbye to the last 3 decades of Uzma. You have to reinvent yourself over and over again, right? With each birthday, there's a milestone. You were talking about when you were 5 years old. Uzma, that was like a lifetime ago. Also, you are a child. You are not a child. You are a grown-ass woman who has made her own life in America outside of what your parents probably want for you. But remember, you have a bigger goal. Wouldn't your mother be so proud of the fact that you've created this like village?
Yep.
So what does it take to get to that goal?
I just need to get myself out of my own way.
Exactly. Exactly. You need to get out of your own way. You need your mother out of your own way too. She is subconsciously holding you back. She's probably never done that before. But you've now created a block for yourself to be able to say, well, maybe I've become insular because of my parents. Like, your upbringing is your upbringing. But I know as Muslim women, and I'm speaking from experience as well, yeah, society sees you in a different way, but you're the only person that can create your own path. Now, if we were to take the example of Malala Yousafzai, a teenager who nearly got shot, and she's from your country, and she was able to use her one voice to create change. Uzma, why can't you?
Yeah, I think I am on the path to do all that. Taking me probably slightly longer than what I would want to, but yeah, I'm getting there.
All right. So I think we've had like a little like mini revelations on this show.
It was more of a therapy session than branding session.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do one last thing, because I did promise that I'm going to check your Instagram. So you were talking about helping influencers monetize their audience. In order for you to talk to influencers, Uzma, you need to look like a serious candidate for them. And right now, so we're on uzmasaeed.x on Instagram. The first line of your bio, you don't even talk about you don't mention your full name, even if it's in your title. Have you ever considered, instead of saying uzmasaeed.x, Mango Tym or something like that?
I have another account that is just Mango Tym. This is before I had copy with Uzma, because I have another website that I was using for copywriting. So I had copy with Uzma. I recently changed it just to make it more simple for people to understand, because I already have a very hard sort of name for the local population. So just wanted to make it easy.
Don't make it easy for them. Your identity is your identity. So if they have a hard time with your name, that's their problem and not your problem. So that's the first thing. So really own your identity, say your full name, and then talk about who you actually help. Growth partner for coaches, high ticket coaches and influencers, because that's one of the things that's missing here. I don't know who you're talking to. And then you talk about, I help high ticket biz monetize with email and funnels. Great. I help you monetize your audience with a ready-made system, right? So being a little bit more specific. This is great. No upfront cost, just profit and mango lassi on the beach. Right? Something like that would be cute. Yeah. And then I see that you're using the DM and the keyword, but I don't see your keyword at all in this one. DM me to unlock. So DM, choose a keyword, DM unlock maybe to, I don't know, monetize $30,000 plus from your audience, which will be great. And then I can see you are very much like, don't look at me, please. I don't exist. And these are all posts. So why did you decide to go with posts and not reels instead?
Because reels they are kind of path to resistance, which means I'll have to spend time either recording my own stuff, which I wasn't comfortable. If I have to put something else there, that means I have to create the content and maybe edit that. And that's like never happening anytime soon.
Never say never. Never say never. But is this actually doing anything for your business though? Your Instagram account? Is that a yes or a no? Is your Instagram account actually doing anything for the growth of your business?
No.
So scrap it, baby. Like seriously, scrap it. I think by you being more visible. So I know there's an issue right now with you being a little bit more vulnerable about your story and why you started Mango Tym. You made the hard step by being on this podcast today and actually being vulnerable. And you know this podcast is going to be seen by people as well. So there's no hiding. So we've already opened up that gateway. The first step for you to get those influencers is to start acting like one yourself. And it's okay. You don't have to have reels where you're constantly showing your face. Show your face once in a blue moon, but you can have a ton of B-roll with post-ops of you putting together your email systems or working on someone else's project, or you writing on a whiteboard, or you having a BNI meeting, or you sipping tea, or literally anything else but your face being on camera, but you're still visible. So there's a lot of creative ways for you to show you without you literally being on camera and going, today I'm going to show you how to do blah, 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 because that's kind of public as well.
Yeah.
I want you to share your story because you are a dime a dozen. And honestly, Uzma, you have so much power. You just need to tap into it now.
Thanks.
Uzma, how are you feeling?
Shaken? No. No.
It's my job. No kidding.
It feels good to be, that you came and you told me that this is what needs to be done. and this is how you should be doing. And it's something I can implement, definitely. Yeah.
Uzma, here, let's do a little pinky promise. All right. Let's show the world how strong Muslim women in marketing are. Okay. Pinky promise. Okay. You and me and the world. Okay, Uzma?
Oh, yes. Let's do it.
Awesome. Well, Uzma, I know this felt like therapy. There was so much that we had to uncover in such a short amount of time. What is the one takeaway you've received from the Fairy Boss Mother today?
Taking more action and making myself visible and not hold it back. Because by my story, I can resonate with so many other people and create a much bigger, better picture.
And what's the one thing that you can implement today after this show?
Probably work on my website and create a more cohesive, better message.
And one last thing. So could you potentially, with everything that we've discussed, do you think you can go ahead and do this on your own, or do you feel like you need some more expert guidance?
Yeah, I think it's possible that I might need more guidance on this. I'll try to do it myself, but yeah, of course, it's possible that I'll be coming back to you.
Okay. Yeah. And how would you feel if everything that we discussed today, and this is just surface level stuff that we've just uncovered today, and it was deep, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine if we can figure all of this out, implement it, and then start scaling and monetizing you, Uzma, in 100 days. How would that make you feel?
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I do. I build your personal brand, implement it, build up the systems behind the scenes, which actually that's what you do for your clients. And now you just need to do it for yourself, and then get you comfortable being visible. That's what we do in 100 days together.
Awesome. It's great.
All right. So wrapping up, Uzma, what was your experience like with the Fairy Boss Mother? Because this is not something that you expected, right?
No, actually, I did expect that, because I wanted you to be honest, and I was expecting that from you as a branding specialist. So I think it was good that you were, and in a very fun way. It was light and it was brutally honest, which I really appreciate. So, and of course, the therapy part. Yes. Free therapy.
Free therapy. All right. I know. Well, Uzma, you've got so much that you could be, you've gained a lot in this short amount of time. Start figuring out who you are, your voice, and start really owning it. Like, seriously, I want to see you own everything that you do right now, because you do have a big heart with really big intentions. Let's make that happen. Stay in touch with me. I want to see your transformation. So please do tag me in your future posts, because I want to see the before and after with how Uzma does. Can you do that for me?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that's a wrap, Uzma. Thank you so much for coming to the show. And yeah, we'll stay in touch.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. And we'll stay in touch, especially in Vienna.
Yeah, absolutely. If you enjoyed this episode of the Fairy Boss Mother Show and you're a small business owner, apply to be a guest on the show and get your very own live brand review. You can apply by going to my website, www.bossdiplomat.com, or snap the QR code on this video. See you soon.